So one thing I was curious about when I started on this adventure here was, these canister shells. So these tubes in this dimension are really hard to find, if you can find them at all. So what I discovered is these roofing underlayment tubes are a little bit bigger than this, and with a fuse, they're too big to fit in this standard mortar tube. So you do need to get some 2-inch tubes. These ones came from Pyro Boom, but what I do here is I got this little miter jig, so I measure out my distance, usually about 5 inches or so, and I'll cut sections. So the next step is to take a round file and round off the edges so they have a nice clean surface there. So instead of using clay, I opted to use chipboard. So I have a little setup here. These are just hole punches I got off of Amazon, and then I bought a thing of 1/8 chipboard. So what I do is punch out 3 of them, and then I have a little chunk of an axle that I cut for another project years ago. So what I do is, in order to space the discs off the bottom, I'll use the spacer and then use the press to press a disc down, and I just have a piece of DOM tubing. I mean, you could use whatever you want. So then I press that down into the tube and put a layer of glue and another disc, another layer of glue, and another disc. So I'll press that down in there. That gives a nice even finish there. Now you could change the distance. This is about 1.25 inches or so. So when we get to the next step after this glue dries, we'll drill a hole through there and put a spalette tube in it. So I just put a little bit of wood glue down in there. You don't need a whole bunch. All we're trying to do is seal that in there. So just get the disc started, push it down in there, hold the pressure on it for a second. Stupid press. And we should see a little bit of glue coming out the side. That's perfect. So I'll do this one more time. So with our third disc in there, we'll get a little bit of glue that comes out the side and out the side of the tube. So that's pretty easy, pretty simple. So I have this little rotisserie thing here, and what I do is set it on 325 for about 10 minutes and just leave the tube in here, because see all that moisture coming out? That's from the glue. So the other way to do this is to just let the tubes dry, but that can take a day. This is Titebond 3, so it doesn't take a whole lot to dry it, but this is just way easier. Next step is to set up our time fuse. I use spalettes. You can use a fuse or whatever you want, but I just use some granulated black powder and 2 1/8 teaspoon scoops. Gives you about a second or so. So we got 2 increments in there. Put it back in the press. Come on, camera guy. So that gives us about 1/4 inch, about a second, maybe a little bit more. Depends on your powder mix. Press down our second increment here. Gives us about that much. 2 1/4 inch increments and about 1/8. Come on, stupid thing. You don't need to press it super hard. It's not like you're pressing a rocket, but you get a nice consolidated grain there. So these 5/16 spalette tubes are a 1/2 inch outer diameter. So what I'll do is come in here with a pilot bit. I don't know what size this is, probably 1/8 or so. So we just drill a little hole in there that keeps it from breaking out on the other side. Next step is to use a 1/2 inch bit and bore that out. So then we end up with a 1/2 inch hole. This one wasn't dry all the way, so it kind of blew out on the bottom there. It's not a problem. We're going to fill that with glue when we're done. So then we take the tube back over to the press, and we're just going to set that split in there. You could probably do this by hand if you want to, but I'm just going to do it like this as soon as I find the other piece. So I just use whatever adapters you got sitting around. So there we got our tube in there. We got about 3/16 of an inch of space there. So then I just take a little bit more wood glue. We'll run it around. Tilt it around until we get a nice seal around it. I'll even let it run up on the edges, because when the lift goes off, we don't want this blowing out. So there we go. Got a nice amount in there. I'll just run it around a couple times so it could seal along the edges and then along that split. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this dry completely, and then we'll flip it over and repeat the gluing process on the other side. So when these are done, then you can just take a couple pieces of black match and push it down inside that spilette tube, and then you can fill it with whatever your heart's desire. So, this is pretty easy. It's a lot easier than using, I won't say it's easier, but using the clay. You get a little bit harder bulkhead here, and then you know that it's actually sealed. It also makes the shell itself weigh less, because you're not trying to send a giant chunk of clay up into the air, so your lift gets a little bit more efficiency out of it. So when the thing is filled, we'll do the same process on the top with the discs. We'll fill the tube, press a disc down, put some glue around it, press another disc down, and then put some glue around the top on this side. And then when we do our lift, we'll just punch a hole through the side here and use a fuse, and then I'll push one more disc into the bottom and then wrap it around with gum tape. You don't want it to be completely sealed, because it'll blow the tube out, but you want it to have enough to where the split actually lights. So another thing you could do is take some black powder slurry and put it over the top of this, and then wrap your fuse over it, but I've never had any failures to light like this. So yeah, roofing underlayment. I don't know if the tar paper, 15-pound paper, has the same tube. This is actually from like an ice and water. A couple of my buddies are roofers, so I got an endless supply of these. So that's how I make canisters. Now the filling is up to you, whatever your heart's desire.